Good morning, my dear viewers. Another week, another Today's Women episode coming to you from the studios of TV3 by courtesy of Queen's Pride Perfume Rice, no substitute, Neck Sheen hair product for the hair of your life, and Jane Easy Skin Repair and Laser Center. Shortly, we'll have in the studio Father Campbell, who is a parish priest of Christ the King Church, talking to us about the plight of the cured lepers. But before then, my quote for the morning, and it's from Nicholas Sparks, and it reads, "I'm nothing special. Of this I am sure. I am a common man with common thoughts, and I've led a common life. There are no monuments dedicated to me, and my name will soon be forgotten. But I've loved another with all my heart and soul, and to me, this has always been enough." We'll be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the Today's Women show. As always, I'll acknowledge my sponsors again, and they're Queen's Pride Perfume Rice, no substitute, Neck Sheen hair product for the hair of your life, and Jane Easy Skin Repair and Laser Center. Now, I mentioned at the beginning we're going to be talking about the plight of the cured lepers, but before then, I have Anita Wiafiasino, who is the Managing Director of OML Africa, in the studio with me, and she's going to be talking to me about the Ghana Women Business in Leadership Conference, which is going to be held in Accra on the 26th and the 27th of February. You're welcome, Sister Anita.
Thank you, Audrey.
Now, why did you decide to have this conference?
Well, because there's a need to create a platform for Ghanaian women in business and leadership. The second reasons, which are probably even more important, is that women are playing a very, very role in economic development. If you look at the ratios around the continent in terms of the number of women who are in business, whether at varying degree, it's a lot. Yet we're ignored because of our traditional culture and all the reasons we know. Support and services and capacity building and advocacy, things that we need to be put in place to make us be even more successful than what we are. And I would also like to see, Ghanaian women outside in the top 100 influential women of the world, or the top 20 influential women of Africa. We're not in it.
I just saw recently, was it Forbes Africa? The top, the woman who won Woman of the Year. She was a South African, I think.
Exactly. You always have Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, Tanzania.
Is it because they have larger economies?
I don't think so. I think that if you go in there now, you realize that there's a lot of activity, in place to support women to rise up. And when we say that, we're not saying that we should have our hands held, or that we should get special treatment because we're women. We're saying create the environment to allow us to excel.
When you say create the environment, what sort of tools are you hoping that women are equipped with to make them more successful in business?
For example, one of the biggest challenges for women who are starting their business or even wanting to grow is finance. And it's always going to be that way, because generally we have less assets, than
But can I play devil's advocate? Do you think that men get better treatment, get better chances at sourcing financing for their businesses than women do?
Yeah.
In this country?
Yeah.
They do.
And it's because...
Why?
Well, because generally speaking, we're not supposed to be in the business environment, are we? We are still coming against a lot of traditional, stereotypes or perceptions. And then also, so you find that a lot of women who start their businesses, they don't tend to go very high. They tend to start businesses that their finances, their own finances, somehow they can raise to start. But it's a fact that if you are able to start a business with more resources, so basically the more resources you have to start a business, the more likelihood it is to grow and to be successful. So if you look at that and you ask yourself, well, if those women had the opportunity to have access to funds, would it be different? how they start or the type of business they even choose. And then you've got the capacity, although you
when you talk about capacity building,
so things like skills, to do your business, things about managing your finances, things about knowing, the right way to hire people, things about your business plan, your marketing strategy. Some of these things don't come just naturally because you're an entrepreneur. You do need some help to kind of
guidance,
to guide and to learn. And sometimes, of course, we don't have really avenues for that. And then where the avenues are, of course, people are providing a service. They have to charge for that service. And somebody who is, whether even not, maybe let's say even at startup, but middle of their business, may not necessarily prioritize that as something to do, but actually it's the experience.
But another thing is that we're very much this country. I can speak for this country. Everybody wants to do their own thing, obviously, to survive.
Exactly.
And the quick thing is to buy and sell, to get into business in that manner. But then not everybody has an entrepreneurial skill.
No.
And people have to know that. Not everybody is cut out to be an entrepreneur.
And that is it. So we need to be clear. There's a difference between self-employed, that I want to have the freedom to schedule my time. I want to have financial freedom. I want to be able to have the best of my both worlds, home, and I don't want to be under the restriction of working for somebody where my time, everything's dictated. So I become self-employed. But on the entrepreneurs, which is where we want to be, we don't just want to give our family a good life. We want to change our community, we want to change our nation, we want to change the world. And I think that as women, we are, insofar as sometimes the men may think we're being a bit woman, we do have to praise ourselves, because it's not easy being a woman in any degree, let alone one where you're aspiring to not just have a career, but to business, to impact, as I was saying, your community and nation.
Now, in a few days, you have the conference. It's Ghana Women in Business Leadership Conference. You've got a great panel. I mean, I can see seasoned business women, women who've been in powerful positions and stuff. How did you put all of that together?
Actually, Audrey, I know it may sound like a cliche, but it's by the grace of God. And actually, it has superseded.
It's never a cliche, my dear. It is the fact.
Some people will say, I don't think it is. I don't think, God deals in coincidence, but it has exceeded my expectations in terms of, you have an idea, you know what is going to work, but how is when it's going to, so it's when you roll it out. What's been amazing is that all these women, in engaging with them, are all in agreement. We need to have a platform. Those who have made it need to share with those who are coming up. We need to network. We need to collaborate.
We need to inspire.
Exactly. And it's absolutely, I'm so pleased to have all these women, have so much faith in the GRIP network to actually want to participate. And I'm absolutely just, I'm very much looking forward to being inspired myself, because even spending time just talking to them in that short space of time, you leave with so much motivation and ideas of how to do things. It's amazing.
Now, you have an online directory for businesswomen.
Yes, and this, I want to say that one of the things in kind of researching what to do in terms of sustainability was that I realized that there's a lot of women networks, all right, focusing on different areas, but we're all trying to do the same thing of trying to engage with the women. And I wanted to have a network that we are active women and doing business, and I wanted one that is sustainable. And I realized that in Ghana, look, let's be realistic, you want to try and feel that the corporations and things will support things, they do as they want, as it pleases them. And I didn't want the network to become stuck because some corporation would not sponsor this or some corporation would not. So I figured that, we need to have a network that funds itself, and that whatever we generate can get us to be able to do more things for the women. Because this is not about making profit. This is about the fact that I'm a woman, I've experienced some of these, and I think that if you keep whinging about the problem, you've got to provide a solution. So the GRIP directory, it's a women-owned directory. You can have your free basic listings on there. those of you who don't have the technicalities for website, it's like a mini website where you can have statistics on people who are visiting you, who are reviewing you. You can have videos, images. You literally can create a front facing of your business. We feel that every single business should have a web presence. So the directory is for that. So even if you're not in business, but you're looking for where is the nearest hair salon in Osu somewhere, or you're in Kumasi, we want to know where the businesses are. We don't know. Instead, we rely on referrals, or you just hoping by picking up you don't know. Okay, but we're saying no. What we should know, we should know all these women. Where are the businesses, and a platform where they can sell to the customer. So it's a marketplace to do business.
Okay, I know it's taking on in a few days. I'm taking off in a few days, the 26th and the 27th of February. Where is it happening and at what time?
Okay, it's happening at Airport West.
Okay.
It starts on the 26th at 8:30. And then on the 27th, it starts at 9. It's 8:30 because we're doing a whole open ceremony aspect. And each day we're finishing at 5. But then I'm saying about women, we may decide to finish later.
Chat.
Exactly. But the directory is live. So you can just go on and start registering your business.
So if I'm a woman in business, how do I become a part of this day?
You just need to call us. Or I'll give you 3 ways. You can register on the GhanaWomenInBusiness.com website.
So it's GWIB. Is it? What is it? Can you tell us what it is?
Yes, it's GhanaWomenInBusiness.com.
One word.
One word.
Okay.
And you can register to attend the conference there.
Okay.
You can email us.
Okay.
Okay. At GWIB. That's WIB.
GWIB.
GWIB.
Yes. GWIB. GWIB.
GWIB at OMLAfrica.com. Or you can call us on 0302 973379.
But 0302 973379.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you Google it, we will come up.
Ghana Women in Leadership Conference.
We're really the only, you see, making a lot of noise online.
Anita?
So I want to encourage all the women power, come on, join the group. It's join the directory, join the network. You will not be sorry if you're if you're a woman in business. But
I love people who are so passionate about what they do.
Exactly.
Everybody needs to have a bit of passion in what they do.
Absolutely.
Passion. Excellence is born out of passion, I believe.
Absolutely. And
excellence is born out of passion. And I think that it has to be your passion that drives whatever you do. It's not your want of money. It has to be your passion and purpose. And that has to drive what it is that you're doing.
Exactly.
So for one thing, you're doing a good thing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And I think I'm quite sure that we'll come and support you on the day.
Oh, thank you.
Okay?
Yes.
So wish you all the best with GWIB. Welcome back to today's Women's Show. As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we're going to be talking about the plight of the cured lepers. We're still in the month of February, the month of love. Love does make the world go round. And we on the Today's Women's Show have chosen to share love with people who otherwise would not have been loved. And to help me do that today, we're going to be to help me talk about the cured lepers today is someone who is so passionate about the cured leper and has been their friend, their family for over 40 years. And he's Reverend Father Campbell. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Now, what is leprosy?
When we talk of leprosy, that somebody has leprosy, that it affects the nerves, it affects, and the nerves affects the fingers, affects the toes, it's a sort of, and formerly it wasn't cured. You couldn't cure, but now you can cure within 6 months. They've got such good treatment nowadays that once you recognize it, within 6 months treatment, you're fine, you're back in society again.
I know you're not a medical person, but I know that you know have a lot of information. What are the signs I'm supposed to be looking for?
Various signs on the body, you see various things on the body, and immediately you have to report to a doctor. Like somebody came to me recently, and he had a relative full of sores. And the doctor in the particular hospital said, "Oh, that's leprosy." And I sent the person back to the hospital to say, "Look, how do you make out this is leprosy? Just all full of sores." I said, "Go first and get it checked to see that everything is okay." And that's not the... I've seen a leprosy, one case up in Kumasi, and that was full of sores. That one was very, very, very bad. And it was on treatment, so it wasn't contagious at that stage. I went with some students from KA and UST, and as soon as they saw the woman, they ran out of the room. And they left me on my own there. I shook hands with her, but they told me it wasn't contagious because at that stage she was on treatment. Okay. So I was okay, I was safe. We're talking now on the cured cases now.
We're talking about the cured cases.
Yeah. The active ones, not very many in the country. I just had this one up in Kumasi. There are other ones up in the west, up towards that area. You've got more cases there. But the rest in Kanchina, Cape Coast,
they're all cured.
They're all cured lepers there.
They're all cured. Yeah. Well, we have a short film which I'd like you to watch.
Leprosy, also known as Hansen's disease, is a chronic infection caused by the bacteria Mycobacterium leprae and Mycobacterium lepromatosis. Initially, infections are without symptoms and typically remain this way for as long as 20 years. Symptoms that develop include granulomas of the nerves, respiratory tract, skin, and eyes. This may result in a lack of ability to feel pain and thus loss of parts of extremities due to repeated injuries. Weakness and poor eyesight may also be present. It occurs more commonly among those living in poverty and is believed to be transmitted by respiratory droplets. It's not very contagious. Leprosy is curable with treatment. Globally, in 2012, the number of chronic cases of leprosy was 189,000, and the number of new cases was 230,000. The number of chronic cases has decreased from some 5.2 million in the 1980s. In the past 20 years, 16 million people worldwide have been cured of leprosy. Ghana has also attained the elimination target for leprosy set by the World Health Organization. Unfortunately, leprosy has long been associated with social stigma, which remains a barrier to self-reporting and early treatment. World Leprosy Day was started in 1954 to draw awareness to those affected by leprosy.
Those
yes,
are
they're very
cases.
active, yes.
Those are active cases. Now, once you're cured, you're not infectious.
You're not infectious at all. People, when they see people losing fingers and toes and things like this, they get scared. But as you saw on the video, you saw Auntie Nancy. Auntie Nancy has no fingers, but yet, she's fine. And she's not on any leprosy tablets. And this is the awful stigma, even this day and age. I saw one group of big people. Big people, they went there to donate and I said, follow me, we shake hands. They said, no. And recently some students came from one of our universities and they went sort of like this, and the lepers were very sad. They didn't want to go back into society. So I'm trying to encourage them to come back in, to integrate them into society. Thank God, the Christ the King, the people are really good. Now they're accepted as our own brothers and sisters, and they're always welcome there.
But apart from that, I think that why would you see somebody who's sort of handicapped and shun them? If you're not going to...
leprosy, people fear it. You can shake hands with a handicapped child. You can shake hands with somebody who's had an accident, but you think of the word leprosy. It's going back to Leviticus in the Bible, where you say, keep away 100 yards from people, keep a bell around your neck, and as soon as you hear them, run the other way. So there's that awful notion, that leprosy is contagious. I don't want leprosy, such and such. So even to this day and age, can you imagine a cured leper looking for work? Nobody will give him work, sadly to say. A cured leper looking for accommodation. They're not going to have somebody next door living who's a leper. They won't have that. They're afraid. So that stigma is with us today. I don't know how we're going to get rid of it.
Because you've tried.
Because I bring them to the church, I bring them different places, let them come and be with us. That when we have parties, we bring them to parties at Christ the King. We had a recent Christmas party when Labadi Beach Hotel gave us a beautiful 5-course lunch. We were there singing and dancing, and we invited others just to integrate. bring them to church. They sang during church recently.
How did your passion for them start, Father?
Again, I'm 44 years in Ghana now, 44 years a priest. And when I came first, I met one man a cured leper, and he came and brought me a bag of mangoes. And I was scared. I never met a leper before, cured or otherwise. And he gave me a bag of mangoes. I gave them away quickly because I was afraid. Maybe I'll get leprosy or something. But then I decided, let me go and see where they live. And once I went there, they won me over because there was nobody to fight for them. There was nobody to stand up for them. Wage was far out. Mm-hmm. The transport was by taxi. Mm-hmm. They were treated badly. I could give you some horrendous stories when they were taken to hospitals in Accra and they were just thrown there. One particular man, I'll never forget him. I brought him in, and that night he died. But the doctor refused to take care of him. And the nurse told me, the nurse was my friend, when I came back the next morning, the nurse told me the man died in the middle of the night and the doctor didn't go near him. And the doctor said, I'm not going to touch a leper.
And he was cured?
He was cured leper. And he was in with fever. He was in with fever. It wasn't with leprosy. He was in with fever. And bad fever. And he wasn't taken care of. The doctor didn't take it. But the doctor told the nurse, write this down on the form, that we give him this, we gave him this.
Because you just answered my question. I was going to ask you, that do you find that the medical practitioners in Ghana actually, as part of their work, will welcome a cured leper into their consulting room, just as they would any other person who had a disease?
Nowadays, I find it's much more positive. When I came first, no, it was very sad. Really was sad. I remember one particular lady, I'll never forget her, and she had to have her leg amputated above the knee, and we took her to a hospital in Accra, and the surgeon said, amputation above the knee. Now, Father, here's her folder, go and find her a bed. And I went to the nursing sister, and she said, me take a leper on my ward, and this is a big hospital in Accra, I won't mention it. Me take a leper, but she says, okay, let me see the doctor. So they went down to the surgeon, and they came to agreement that one day after the operation, and this was above the knee, one day after the operation, she should go back to Waja. And Waja, at that stage, we didn't have any facility whatsoever, none whatsoever. So the nurse came and said, okay, we'll take her, such and such. We took her down for the x-ray, to have an x-ray. As soon as we brought her for the x-ray, the one in charge of the x-ray unit says, it's spoiled. And somebody came to me then and said, it was Archbishop of Crofy's wife met me. And she says, Father, you look very angry. I said, yes, I'm angry. And I said, what's he told? I told her what happened. Well, he says, Father, there's a nice small x-ray unit upstairs. Go there and they'll take care. So I brought him there. At this stage, the nurse that was with us ran away. And we were left with just one person, a porter. So we took her upstairs. She sat down and they said, we have to take it again. The poor woman, it was awful. Anyway, we did it, brought her back, and she had the operation. Mm. And they said, Father, come and collect her after one day. I said, I didn't come back. I stayed away for a whole week. I sent people to go and look after her. Do you want me to take her on? She would have died. But God being so good, it was a wonderful, she recovered wonderfully from this operation. This was how they treated her in those days. Mm. But thank God these days it's much, much, much better. Because with one man recently, in the past few months, he had to have his foot amputated, and they were so good.
Why would they have the amputations? Is there progression of the illness?
You see, they suffer from these big sores, They suffer from a cured leper, eye problem, many of them eye problem. Mm-hmm. We bring them to one doctor out in Medina, he takes care of them, and then they get these sores, and they have to be taken care of. And if it's not taken care of soon enough, eventually it'll have to be amputated. Times have changed, and people have got more, more understanding that they're just like anybody else.
Do you have volunteers who come and help at all?
I've got this Lepers Aid Committee. And we do a lot of fundraising and visiting them, taking care of them.
I know your Christmas concert.
Yes, our Christmas concert every year. Every year. Yeah. What worries me is the families. Sometimes the families expect the lepers to take care of them, which is sad. Yes, so they send children to stay with them, and they expect the cured lepers to send them to school and look after them.
Why? Maybe because they think you're giving the lepers.
So we give them, and then they expect, and they also take some food. Even some of the food we give to the lepers, they take, and it's not right. So they should leave them alone. They should leave them alone. And then when somebody dies, then we're expected to take care of them, buy the coffin and do everything for them. There was one old man there, I'll always remember, Mr. Corte. He was 90, blind. And the family didn't take care of him at all. They never went near him. But yet, when he died, I was with him the day he died. And he said, "Father, don't take me to any hospital. I want to die here." So he died, and I went to his room and took out a nice up and down. I said, "It'd be nice." Next morning, I went for the funeral. There he was in a suit. I said, "A suit?"
They never gave him anything.
This man in the suit. So afterwards, I took the coffin in my car to the cemetery, and we buried him and came back. When I came back, they didn't mind me.
They were upset with you because they were going to cash in on that.
They said, they had a table there. I said, "Table for what?" I said, "I bought the coffin, I bought this." "Oh, Father, we want to help." I said, No. We'll take care of them. We take care of them. And all their hospital bills, the medicine, whatever it is, we take care of them. The Lepers Aid Committee. So the family should leave us alone and not come and demand from them, do this and such.
And send children across as well.
Send their grandchildren.
That's all wrong. But we have a film from one volunteer from the Lepersarium, and who's worked with them. So let's see what she had to say about her experience.
I've been working here for the past 5 months. I enjoy everything here. I enjoy every bit of the work I'm doing here because I'm working with nice people. I'm taking care of nice people. The way they talk, they give advices. You see that sometimes they are old, and sometimes they come and then this funny feeling of old age, tell you funny stories. And then sometimes you just have to go to them, interact with them, and then they will also like to share their feelings with you. Integration into the society, it's not that much, but it's just a few people who accept them. With them, the challenges I think they face here is in terms of food, and then sometimes their drugs, and then their hospital bills. Because people normally bring donations here during the festive occasions, during Christmas, Easter, or whenever they are celebrating anything, maybe a party. That is when they bring donations. But aside that, on the normal day, people don't come in as much as they used to come in those festive occasions. So at that time, it gets to some time we have a lean period where the food we give out to them, it's so small, it's not enough. And then sometimes their hospital bills, we send them to hospitals when the health insurance cannot cover all the medications and other health needs. We take them to the hospital, and sometimes we are spending about thousands of cedis just to take care of them, some on admission and some to go for major medical care just to get that. We have to spend a lot of money on that. Looking at the economic problems the country is going through, and the kind of support they are being given, I think enough is being done, but we still have to do more because the government has supported them. They are registered under the LEAP program where they have a certain amount of money, I think every month or every 2 months, and we use that. And then we also give them money at certain months, and there are certain people, few people who have volunteered to come at some periods to give them money, to give them food. But we need to get everybody on board so that they could help us give them the best.
She's very passionate about it.
She's my child, she's my daughter.
She's a daughter. She talks about... But when she mentioned there that you do have challenges, couldn't you get probably... maybe the medication that they would normally use to get one of the pharmaceutical houses to sponsor? You see,
she was mentioning of the operations and others. These are expensive. We had one person recently in the hospital at the military, and he came and he was very, very, very... We spent thousands on him. Thousands. And that he's on NHIS. So we got some of the medication free, but the rest we had to spend, for operations and others. And it was about 4,000 or 5,000 altogether. That was a lot for us, because they get 80 pesos a day, from the LEAP fund, which, what is 80 pesos? Average wage now is 7 cedis a day. But 80 pesos, what do you buy with 80 pesos? And that's why...
You can't even buy a plantain from the...
So the government should think again, because to me, why should they have to suffer like this? It's not their fault they got leprosy. And we have that responsibility to take care of them. People have been very good to us. People have been very kind to us, giving us money, and supporting them in every way. And for this, we're all very, very grateful.
But I like that spirit she says. She says, enough is being done, but more can be done. Which was a nice thing. Now, Ghana has attained the elimination target for leprosy set by the WHO. Does that mean that leprosy is no longer infectious or no longer a threat?
We still have some cases, up towards the north west. We still have some active cases there, but we've reached the elimination. I don't think it's not a threat. No, it's not. We've done a lot over the years. There's a Father Abraham from Takoradi who works there, a Franciscan priest. He's done fantastic work to help us to eliminate leprosy in this country. He's done a lot. We are very grateful to him for what he has done. So Ghana has done very, very well. But you see, it's the cured lepers who are still considered as lepers.
Even though they're cured,
even and being treated, which is not right, because if you had malaria and you're cured, you're not called a cured malaria case. You're cured. So why should a cured leper still be called a cured leper?
Welcome back to today's Women's Show. If you've just tuned in, I'm having a chat with Reverend Father Andrew Campbell of the Christ the King Church. If you have any comments at all, or if you want to have a way to donate monies to them, you can do so by just dropping me a line and your telephone number on our Twitter or Facebook pages, and we'll find a way of getting in touch with you and collecting the money. So, Father, now residencies. How many cured lepers do you have at Wager?
We've about 27, 28, and they live in a good accommodation. Commons Ghana renovated the whole place last year, so they're quite comfortable. We have new toilets. The toilets we had there before was awful. 60 years, it was just one room with 4 holes in it or something. It was awful. And it was just last year, that we managed to put in new water closets now. So in Wager, the accommodation, we take care of them, we try to look after them. That's fine. But in Ho, also accommodation, they've got some...
How many leprosariums does Ghana have?
You've got Wager, Ho, Nkanchina. You've also got Cape Coast. Kokofu has got some cases. They come from their homes in Kokofu, and they come there. In Ho, you've got nearly about 90-something. And also in Nkanchina is about 90 to 100 there. I went to Nkanchina for World Leprosy Day last week. A trip I will never forget. It was a trip of a lifetime.
You went in how many days?
We went there on a Friday evening at 10:30 at night time. PM. We went with 3 policemen, armed police. We were afraid on the road, 10:30 at night time, because we went down by the Adar Road and then straight up. And we got there at 1:30 the next day. But it was worth it. The joy and happiness of those people there. They were living in this big hospital up to about 14 years ago. Some missionary group built this beautiful hospital for them, wards, theatre, offices, doctors' residences and the rest. But then they were told to get out. They said, you're cured. And they weren't all cured at that stage. So they were all told to leave.
So who asked them? The missionaries?
No. It was somebody.
Some people look. Yeah. Okay, let's not say that. Okay.
So they were asked to leave. Since that time, the doors have been locked and nobody uses that place. And it's falling down.
Nobody lives in them.
Nobody. The doors are falling down in the doctor's residences. The only bats flying around. The other place we just saw a pig.
How wasteful.
There was a pig. Wasteful. It's an absolute mortal sin to see what is happening there. It's right beside a river, the Oti River. And they've no water, they've no electricity. They have a medical assistant there, as a sort of a clinic there. But he's no electricity, no water, no running water. And so they were asked to leave. So they all left. And what happened was a few years ago, Archbishop Gregory Biabaya, he's the emeritus for Tamale. He was told of one incident that actually the house fell down on a woman, on one of the lepers, and but he dug her out and she was still alive. So he felt, look, let me do something to build something worthwhile for these people. So that's when the Lepers Aid Committee heard about it. So we decided to come on board. We said, right. So our last Christmas concert was held for this, for this project, and we raised about 230,000 CDs. We need 2 million. And then we went to the Common Fund. The Common Fund gave us $1 million. So we about 1 point.
How do you get the Common Fund? It's from donations and
so we went to Common Fund and
okay.
told them this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
They'd be very good to us.
Okay.
So we went and told them this is what we're doing. They gave us over 1 million CDs. So we need about another 700,000. But God being so good, I know He'll touch somebody's heart.
You'll get one check, just one check, Father.
So it'll come because we cut the sod that day. We cut the sod and we blessed the ground. Now the contractor has got the first check. I signed the first check and I gave it to the contractor. So work has started there already. So we're just hoping and praying by the time they finish the money, that more money will come and help us, because it's not right.
But I think, Father, by the time you're through with 1,300, the 700 will come. Before you're through with 1,300.
I'm praying that it will.
Because it's for a good cause. And I'm sure it will touch somebody's heart to actually give it to you. But then, do you think there are facilities to retrain cured lepers?
No, there are not. There are not. I mean, where do you bring a cured leper? Well, people don't accept them. They don't accept them into society. This is a sad thing. How do you accept them into society? Now, we bring them to Christ the King.
And how can we start to change the mindset?
Well, when I went first to Christ the King, it wasn't easy. I mean, somebody said when they heard the Father Campbell. Yes, somebody says, I hope Father Campbell doesn't bring those dirty people to Christ. So I went and I preached the following Sunday, and I said, these people are not dirty. These people, Christ was with these people, such and such. So I said, anyway, I'm bringing them next Sunday, so be prepared for them. So I brought them. And when it came to the kiss of peace, everybody wanted to shake hands with them. Even the limbs, they all wanted to shake hands with them. So it was education. You know, now when I say they're coming, nobody says anything. Even when I brought them first, some people wanted to put them over in the corner. And I said, no, sit in front. I said, sit in front here. Because Madam Nancy was in a wheelchair. And during the service, I gave her the microphone and said, you're going to sing. So she led everybody in the singing during the offertory. You know, a beautiful old lady. She's 85 or something. But she led in the singing. So this is, just... Now, ask yourself, how many other churches in Accra have brought the cured lepers to their churches? I haven't heard of any. Why?
We spoke to a cured leper. I'm sure you'll recognize him when you see him. Now let him educate us or tell us about his experiences.
55. Oh, me fi jomo. Na jomo no kwa de bra me kon. Na me di be en fi enum pe. Nti ho na wa ansana father by no be ye han na fi odi emba. Oh, me di haye mani je. E chen jomo na ye tran. Haye mani je. Obi en ha o me. Me so me ha obi. Me sora ma shan me dem. Ma beda. Me busuanfo me ba no waro takura de ha. Ntie ya no wa be sra ma hwe. Oh, eni mo me di me ntumi nwu obi a ho fi. Me fie me kokrom father ho kura obi ntumi nyafin. Yehowa shirano Nya Yehowa shirano Oni bantu mi nya Yehowa shirano Na dinyi na ye shira Oni bantu mi nya Yehowa shirano Na dinyi na ye shira.
Oh, wow. Father, are there any counseling facilities for family members?
No, there are none that I know of.
Just to educate them, sort of to speak to them about...
Well, I must say, the only thing over the years has been very, very positive. The media have taken a great interest in the plight of the cured leper. And they've helped us to educate people. When they see us bringing them to various churches and bringing them out here, such and such. Like last year, we brought a group down to Cape Coast to the picnic to Cape Coast, and brought them around the prisons there and the castle. You know, integrate them in that way. That's the only way we can. And as I say, the families, I'm afraid, are not helping us. Are not. No, I can give you many, many, many stories with the families. I mean, we had one particular lady, we didn't know she was a queen mother. And the family neglected her completely.
She was a queen mother.
She was a queen mother. You see, what they're afraid of is that they've got this awful notion. If you don't bury a leper to do well, you know, and give them a good burial, that the disease will come back to the town, you see. So that's why they buried this one, and they gave her all the formalities and the rest.
So that means we don't see it as a disease, we are looking at it more as a curse.
Exactly.
Could that be the reason why?
So they're afraid.
So would that be the reason why the stigma exists?
So they're afraid. And they gave this woman a big. We didn't know she was a queen mother. We never knew. But when she died, we knew.
So in death, she became very wealthy.
Which is wrong.
That's
it is wrong. You know, and I think, you know, we need to do more for these people because they need help. We forget about them. And it's easy to put your hand in your pocket and say, here's 10 CDs, here's 20 CDs. Yeah. But to really get to know them, how many people will know the poor and the needy? You know, whether you're a leper, whether you're a street child, whether you're a prostitute, whether you're a prisoner, or it is, you know, how many people know these people, would even talk to them. That's why, you know, I want to start a halfway house in Accra. A halfway house for those people who are just thrown on the streets. I took a family into Christ the King last year. They were living on the streets outside the military hospital. They were just living there. We brought them in and took care of them. Yeah. That's why I need a house in Accra. I'm looking for a house. I don't have the money, but I'm looking for somebody to give me a house in Accra where we can have this as a halfway house where these people can come and stay, and then we send them to the various places wherever they go. That's what I need.
That's what you need. But Father, before you go, what do you think anybody can do just to help these people?
Well, financially they can help us a lot. That goes a long way to help them to be able to pay their hospital bills, whatever food they need. Would you start a scheme?
Sorry to interrupt, but would you start a scheme where you could adopt a leper?
Yes, you can easily do that. Yes,
you do that.
No, we don't. No, we haven't done that.
Yes.
You know, and also visit them. I think this is important. We keep the distance away from people like this.
But don't you think it's a first step to at least be able to make sure that their needs are met, and then we can do the emotional needs later?
Well, it needs to go hand in hand. Because if you know them,
if you put that, you will restrict what you're getting.
But if you know somebody and you know they are in need, you'll be more willing to help them. I mean, I remember we were always talking to prostitutes. I was doing some work at the circle there. I never talked to a prostitute before. But I have talked now, and I sit down with them and I let them talk to me and tell me, and you know, my whole perspective has changed because they've sat with me. I don't want this job. I don't like this, such and such. I know, and it's sad that we judge them. We judge lepers. Everybody is a child of God. Everybody is loved by God in a special way, and you and I are blessed that we've got our home to go to. We've got a food on our table every time.
And we've got love around us.
So, and that's it. We need to do more. Not just the financial handouts, but much more to be able to get to know some. There's so much we need to do. And that's why we want to start this halfway house. So if there's somebody listening and they have a house in Accra, I need a house. A halfway house. All of this is what we need.
Halfway house.
Yes.
And raising 700,000 for Incantina.
Yes.
I am praying that because you've come on the show, and my prayer is that somebody somewhere is listening. We want a house, and we want contributions for Father's project in Incantina. So if you hear me, Father, thank you so much for coming on the show. You know, we hear about them, we see them, but you just really sort of sown a seed in my mind right now is that it's very easy for us to put our hands in our pocket and give. But how much of ourselves do we actually give these people who have been marginalized by society? I think we could actually start off with the cured lepers by trying to start a system where adopt a leper. Give them, add on to that 80 pesos the government gives them every day, you know. Start off by that and then get to know whoever it is and stuff. It's easier said than done, but you've put the task, but we can do it.
Because on the last day, the Lord will ask you,
what have you done?
When I was sick, did you visit me?
Yes.
When I was hungry, did you feed me? When I was in prison, did you visit me? That's the question that you and I will be asked on the last day. And there's no use saying, I was thinking of it, or we went for a meeting, or such and such. That's not enough. What did you do?
Wow. Father, you really... a hard one. But before I let you go, month of love.
Oh, that's nice.
So this is love from me to you, or from the whole team at Today's Woman to you, Father. But I hope you love and enjoy every morsel of that.
This is my first Valentine.
Well, there's always a first time.
Thank you very much.
I really want to thank you for spending the last hour and a bit with me. I can't let you go without a quote, and that's today's is from John Joseph Powell, and it reads, "It is an absolute human certainty that no one can know his own beauty or perceive a sense of his own worth until it has been reflected back to him in the mirror of another loving, caring human being." I hope you've enjoyed today's show, and let's all go out and help Father. He's looking for a house in Accra, for Halfway House, and like he said, when we get on that judgment day, when God looks at us and he asks us, what have you done? When I was sick, did you visit me? When I needed water, when I needed food, did you feed me and give me water to drink? Ask yourself those questions, and if you think that you can find the answer by giving us a house or by helping us raise 700,000, we're here to take your money. So please, you can call the producer, or if better still, if you know Christ the King Church, you can go into the parish hall and donate to a worthy cause.